Developing tonight, authorities say Iranian hackers targeted a dam in New York. They were able to breach the software and take control of the floodgates in Rye. That's about 20 miles outside of New York City. Officials say this happened back in 2013, but the details are just being released. Investigators believe the hackers were just probing to see what they could get into, but no damage was done.
Obviously, it's fairly scary for us as a nation to imagine that somebody sitting on the other side of the world could hit a keystroke and all of a sudden water could start flooding through a dam.
The Department of Homeland Security says it's working with the federal and private sector to strengthen the nation's cybersecurity. News 4's Jen Schantz spoke to a local cybersecurity expert who says the breach in Rye is not unique. Jen?
Well, Don, that's right. Professor Arun Vishwanath from UB says it was done by spearphishing, which is one of the most simple ways to breach a system. Essentially, it uses email links to gain access to credentials. While the game is actually rather simple, Vishwanath says the players themselves are becoming more sophisticated. We used to think of email phishing as the Nigerian princess scam, he says, but hackers are no longer a group of shady criminals operating out of a cafe across the world. They're legitimate governments doing this. He cited last year's Sony hack as an example. Well, those hackers couldn't get into the full system in Rye. They did take control of those floodgates. Professor Vishwanath says given other important landmarks in New York State, that's enough to put everyone on alert.
This is one of the biggest concerns we have, infrastructure protection, right? I mean, New York State alone has about 50-odd power plants with everything from hydro to nuclear. There are, I think, 4 to 5 nuclear facilities. Now, all of these use, there are people, individuals, employees using the internet in all of these organizations and all of these entities. And the access, the fisher or the bad guys have access to any or all of them.
Now, details on the incident in Rye remain classified at this time. However, officials say it happened around the same time Iranian hackers were trying to breach U.S. financial institutions. In the newsroom tonight, Jen Schantz, News 4 at 6.